The life energy that is there is something extraordinary, and it expresses itself in its own way. It does not know that it is alive, and when it is dead, it does not know that it is dead. I was saying the other day, the nature is interested in the human bodies only as atoms that can be used somewhere else to maintain the balance or the level of energy in this universe. I did not come into this world of my own choice, and I have no reason, to quit this world. When the time comes, when the body wears down, and when the nature needs these atoms somewhere else, then what we call death takes place. Death is nothing but for this body and in nature. Reshuffling of, the atoms, and when they are needed, the body goes. It wears itself out. It may be possible for me to keep this body going through genetic engineering or some other things that we have at our disposal to keep this body going longer and longer. But what for? What is there to hope for? What? The moment you use the question how, the whole thing comes into the picture. How and hope are one and the same. We constantly ask this question, how, to get an answer and to know more and more and more. How to shape our lives, how to change our lives, how to be at peace with ourselves, how to live in a peaceful world, how to live in harmony with the world and with the people around us. But that how is born out of the hope that somehow, some way you can know how you can change the whole thing. So the moment the how springs up there, the hope goes with it. There is no how. What I want to emphasize and spotlight and focus is a very simple thing. That we are all puppets, and that what is it that is pulling these puppets and play this drama? You call it thought sphere, you call it culture, you call it the fancy phrase, I use it as morphogenetic field. It really doesn't matter. What I'm trying to emphasize or put across is one basic thing, that there is no individual there at all. There is no individual mind there. You and I have been created by culture, by society, for the simple reason that that is a self-perpetuating mechanism, and it is interested in perpetuating that, maintaining its continuity. So there is nothing here, there is no individual there. The very demand to be an individual is baseless, is false. This is all that is there. The world cannot be anything different, because you being what you are, how can you expect the world to be different? We are all the time preparing for war, and how can you envisage the possibility of a peace on this planet? Flag is here. The flag represents what? As long as I wave my flag here so long, I cannot talk of peace, because the other chappie also is waving his flag. So how do you reconcile this situation? Preparing for war all the time and talk of peace. Peace is not something that will descend upon us. I don't think you can fit my statements into either this side or the other side. People say that you are very negative, and all right, you are not negative, you are not pessimistic, you are very optimistic. What does it really mean? An optimistic individual is pushing things. He is using his will, he is using his effort, and he is living in the hope somehow that we will turn this into a paradise and all of us will live in comfort and peace. So what you don't seem to realize is the very idea of creating heaven on this earth is the one that has turned the whole thing into hell. Actually, it is not hell. If we are lucky enough to be freed from all those utopias, the whole idea of a heaven, this itself will become an extraordinary place to live in. What we have to do is to free ourselves from the whole value system without replacing that value system with another set of value system. That would be a wonderful place to live, the way the animals are functioning. You see, they don't kill anything for an idea. You see, so they have to survive. One form of life lives on another form of life. That's what we are doing all the time. But you see, if you kill something for any reason other than survival, we are creating this disharmony in this world. I'm not suggesting that there is something that you can do to free yourself from. You are already free. And what creates this demand to be free is the one that this has to free itself from. You see, this expresses itself in an extraordinary way, you know. This is something which you cannot even think of creating, but unfortunately, where have we gone wrong? Where have we failed? That's a very natural question for us to ask. Somewhere along the line it occurred in the process of evolution, especially in the human species, what we call self-consciousness. So that separated us from the totality of life around us. Actually, it is one single unit in the whole thing. But this self-consciousness separated us from everything. And it is that is responsible for creating, you see, the whole religious thinking of man. Forgetting that we have created all those things, God, truth, reality, or whatever we want to call it, only as an extension of pleasure. This is a perfect piece of creation, and our value system makes it believe that something is wrong with it, you see. So we superimpose on that all our ideations and meditations and destroy what is something extraordinary that is already there.